Hey, how are you?
I'm good. You're not your family to me. You're like my son.
I know. Yo, it's so good to see you. How's
Good to
everything
see you.
going on over there? We have the queen. We have the queen of
Oh,
quarantine in the building.
oh my gosh. I'm always, when people call me that, I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
That is so awesome. So how did you get that name to become the queen of quarantine?
It's a long story. You know what? It actually is my song, is Club Quarantine song.
Okay.
And D Nice, who we all love in Club
Shout out to
Quarantine.
D Nice.
I see some of my Club Quarantine people. Have you any Club Quarantine in the house?
Oh yeah, this we got it. It's lit
Yeah.
already.
Good. That's my family now.
I love it. I love it. So you have Club Quarantine going on. So you started that, and then the Queen of Quarantine came
Well,
from
you know
there.
what? My song became the theme song, a song called Thinking of You. Which,
Oh, okay.
it's crazy, Kareem. That's my favorite song, and I've been singing it. I sang it when I was 16. I recorded
Right.
it. But it's the most remixed song in Europe, one of the most remixed songs. So I'm
Definitely.
always doing it in concerts overseas, and I'm always like, I wish I could do it here. I wish people knew it. But so now we know it.
That's awesome. So you recorded that song when you were 16?
I did. I did.
16 years old. It's crazy. So I was on Amazon, right? I have like the Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
and I'm going on there. I'm looking for the song, and you're right. It's like 200 different remix, bro. And I'm like, holy shucks.
I know. And
That's
it's
so
under,
awesome.
it's under Sister Sledge. People look for Kathy Sledge. I did some house versions of it, but of course I was with Sister Sledge then when I did it.
Right.
And but at the end of the day, I love singing that song.
That's
It's
awesome.
like,
That's awesome. So I was just actually listening to that song with I want to say Afro Freak, I think his name, Afro
oh,
Greek.
the Aristo Freaks. Yeah,
Aristo Freaks,
that
okay.
version I like okay. But then
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
the one that everyone loves in Club Quarantine. A guy from Paris remixed that. His
Okay.
name is Dimitri from Paris,
Okay.
and D Nice, of course, is world renowned. No, so he does a
Yes.
lot
Shout
of
out to D
parties.
Nice.
Yeah, so so he does a lot of the parties in Europe. He does a lot of
Right.
these things, so he knows what they like everywhere. So
Right.
the fact that he introduced it, and then I want to ask him because he always announces in his room that song is so special to him, and I'm like, I want to know what I want to
Yeah,
know the
what yeah,
story.
what made it so special? Because that's crazy because like everybody know who you are. The whole world know who you are. So D Nice, he actually like I'm gonna give him his crown. I'm gonna give him his crown in his roses right now because he really made a huge impact when he
Yeah,
created his DJing live
yeah,
on Instagram. So he
yeah,
broke that, and now it's crazy
yeah. He
because
kind of
now
reintroduced the whole thing.
yeah, definitely. So he reintroduced it. So now the whole world is just like looking for you. They're checking to see where where you are and where you come from. So that's so
Yeah,
awesome. So huge shout out to D Nice. So how old were you when you started, recording music and you fell in love with music? Like you realized, like, all right, this is what I kind of want to do.
I was the truth is when I first started singing, I was 13.
Okay.
Professionally, I've been singing all my life,
Right.
harmonizing with my sisters. I just saw the Clark Sisters movie not so long ago, and
Okay.
it
How was
reminded me
that?
a lot of us because we kind of started out with my grandmother teaching us harmony parts on TV
Get
and
out
stuff
of the
like that.
video, Phil.
Hey Phil, get out of the video. Sorry,
It's cool.
quarantine.
Quarantine
He
life.
doesn't care.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, you don't know. So go ahead.
So So you said 12 years old, you became a professional recording artist, right?
Yeah.
And
Sorry
then
about that, everybody.
it's all
Maybe
right.
you saw that. Anyway,
That was cool though. So that was so so 12 at the age of 12 you started your professional recording, and then where did we go from there?
well, you know what? What people don't know is if you ever remember the movie Rumble in the Jungle with Ali and Foreman and
Right.
Zaire,
Yes.
I actually was there. Like when I was 13 years old,
Wow.
I was
Wow. How was
blessed
that
to be able.
experience?
Yeah, and
How was that experience?
it was crazy, Kareem. It was
Oh
amazing
my
because it was my
gosh.
first time ever out of the country, and I got to go to Africa.
13 years old.
Yeah, and that was with at the time, we lost Bill Withers not so long ago, but Bill Withers,
R.I.P.
James Brown, and all these icons were on this plane where all the entertainment was on this plane. And
Right.
of course, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman were
Oh
all
my
there.
gosh.
And so I've
That's
been singing that long. I mean,
wow.
half of you guys weren't born, but
Wow.
Not if you were born, but I was singing that long. And
You didn't age a minute though.
thank you.
Didn't age a minute.
Yeah, I don't have. I always say people say, "Well, why do you look so young?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I don't have time to get old."
I like that. I need to use that one. So you're out there 13 years old in Africa, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman. I was actually named after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Muhammad
Yes.
Ali. So that's where I got the Kareem Ali from.
Wow.
So that's awesome. So you come back to the States, and what was your first thoughts like coming back from being in Africa at one of the biggest and most historic events like in the history of sports and in the history of boxing?
You know, it still is unbelievable. And, you know, of course, Will Smith did the whole Ali movie. What was so interesting is in that movie, when he, you know, remember everyone was singing Ali Mumbai, Ali, Ali kill him. But what was crazy is I was there. And what they left out of the movie is the then dictator president, Mobutu, that was his name. He thought he was going to have the whole world come to this fight, and actually it wasn't a great turnout.
Oh wow.
So he wanted to charge the people that lived there, the
which is ridiculous,
to charge them $20 to get in, and that's kind of like what they made in a month's time.
Right.
So the truth is, in the original, the way it really happened is that entire Coliseum was empty.
Wow.
When the fight was ready to start, but Ali and George Foreman got together and said they're not stepping foot in the ring until he opens the gates and let everyone come in for free. And when you hear stories like that, when I saw them,
I'm getting chills just hearing about it.
Yeah, I was like, why didn't they tell that part? To me, I thought,
for real.
Yeah, so you know, you get to know these things when you get to be there, and of course, that was something to me when I just
that was like the biggest takeaway there.
I was there.
Right.
I still pinch myself. Things like that makes all the difference in following your passion. Like music is a passion to me.
Right.
But I don't ever remember saying as a little girl, I don't ever remember saying when I grow up, I want to be a singer. So
wow. That's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah. See, people need to hear stuff like that because, like, I do a lot of personal development, and 90% of the personal development people that I listen to is like, they were just following their passion, and then the success came by an accident. You know, it just like fell into their lap. So, and now you're sharing like you witnessed and experienced the same thing. So, at what age did you and your sisters decide to form a group and really take on, you know, the group aspect of your careers?
Well, it's funny, our story. I don't ever remember saying let's be a group. Even our name was a mistake. We're the Sledge sisters. And the DJ was drunk one night. He introduced us backwards.
Right.
Sister Sledge. And we're like,
wow.
And my oldest sister, who's like my best friend, Carol, she was like, y'all need to keep that. That has a ring to it. So nothing was ever planned, but everything was destiny. And in fact, you'd be one of the first to know, I'm actually talking to Lionsgate Film about our life. Yeah.
Well, hold on, Lionsgate Film?
Talking to several people, but you know.
Are y'all hearing this right now? Yo, this is such a blessing. It's like, this show is like just been such a blessing. Like we keep getting the first time. So you guys, and I'm the first time, and this is your first time announcing that Lionsgate Film is actually creating the story.
Yeah,
the movie.
Lionsgate, someone talking to TV One, talking to Tracy Edmonds. We're talking to, you know, and what's so crazy is I'm getting approached about my story, and this is where D Nice comes in, and he doesn't even know this.
Wow.
But his timing, you know, when this happened, I was literally rebuilding the show, and I had just met up and coupled with a major booking agency because I produce live shows, and this is mainly for overseas.
Right.
And when this happened, then, you know, coronavirus, and everybody had to go home. It's like God said, everybody go home, sit down.
Sit it out for a second,
and
you know.
Reset.
Right, definitely. I like that.
And then I start hearing my song on Club Quarantine. I'm like,
ooh.
Okay.
That's awesome. So as soon as that, are you like being like, are you focused in and locked in on like the whole aspect of like the streaming of the music that's going on right now? Like, are you familiar with like how the streaming works?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is, so once D Nice, you know, start playing your song like every time he comes on, which is incredible. Because I remember like the first time he came on, I'm not sure, but I believe it was like over like 60,000 people. And then he got up to like 130,000 people.
And
So
then Michelle Obama came and it was
then
like
what's up?
millions.
She just stepped in the room like, hold on, you know, Michelle Obama here, first lady in the building. So that is so incredible. So as far as that from the business aspect, did you see like the streams of that music just like start skyrocketing, like, you know,
Yeah,
immediately?
streaming, and then of course there's always royalties, which is sweet.
Which is awesome, which
So
is
you know
incredible.
that's always nice. It's especially sweet if you write it. Of course, I didn't write Thinking of You. No,
Okay.
Rogers did. But what's so crazy is I did write a song 5 years ago with Roger Sanchez, who's a pretty strong DJ producer.
Right.
And it's crazy. It's called Good Times Are Coming Back Around. And I
Wow.
literally just showed it to a couple of relevant DJs, and they're like, oh
Okay.
my gosh, you need to put this out. So it's going to be the next single.
That's
And
going to be the next
it's
thing.
very
Okay.
uplifting. It's
Okay.
uplifting, like Thinking of You.
All right,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So you still just nonstop working. So I see Europe is Europe is like blowing this thing up. I'm seeing Canadian flags. I'm seeing Paris. I'm seeing Italy. I'm seeing UK. What year or what inspired you to, you know, you're in the United States, your buzz is big, okay, and then you decided to go to Europe and really start touring and performing, and you've been doing it for years, like for like as long as I remember.
As
Like
long as
what,
I
like
was born.
yeah. So what made like Europe your stomping grounds? Like what happened?
Well,
Like who did somebody call
interesting
you?
story
Like what
again.
happened?
It wasn't planned. Again, you know, we and it's a part of the movie. Like our story is very interesting. It was five girls.
Right.
My mom, I always say my mom was a double to Dorothy Dandridge. She was beautiful. And back in that day, you know,
Right.
if you were a momager, now everybody's mother is a manager. But back
Right.
then,
Correct.
you were pegged as a backstage mom. You know?
Okay.
So my mother was she was shrewd. She was very smart. She was very beautiful. And so she
Right.
would catch it. She would have to break down some barriers.
Right.
But, you know, the five of us, like we lived on top of a bar. We lived from West Philly.
West Philly.
My mom held down 3 jobs. And what was crazy is we always sang. And someone approached us, Kareem, and I was like, I must have been around 6, 7. And they were like, you know, somebody's band had walked out on them.
Wow.
Like 2 weeks before the show. And they were like, why don't y'all do it?
Wow.
And I said to myself, I would do this for free. Are you kidding me? I'm thinking, what?
That's awesome.
But what happened?
Opportunity knocks.
Yeah, what we made in that one night, my mom was making in a week. And we were like,
wow,
this is a no-brainer. And we
right.
loved it. We loved
right.
it. I mean, I literally would say to myself, I can't believe people are paying me for this. I love singing.
Right.
And from that, these 2 young producers produced a song, and they were trying to get a production deal. And we sang the song. And as that song that we sang turned out to be a #1 record in the UK. I was 13.
What?
And yeah, it was called Mama Never Told Me.
Wow.
So the crazy thing is, way before Family, we had hits in other countries.
Okay.
But here, it was quiet. Like I would go to school, I would be in Japan, whatever.
International star, but here they just Kathy.
I come back and they'd be like, "Where'd you go?" And I was
just Japan.
I used to try. Because I'd be excited. I was
right.
Listening. And then
That's
people
awesome.
would be like, "No, you weren't." But what I learned is, one is your work and one is your life, and
Correct.
your life comes first. And it helped
wow.
me to this day keep a balance of, don't get it twisted. These people love your music, and you have to always appreciate that, because that's what got you there.
Correct.
And at the same time, I think a lot of times it comes along with the territory. If people know your music, it's because they hear it, and they hear it because people promote it. And at the end
right.
of the day, it is work. It's a business, and we all know that.
Right.
I think when you start getting it confused, I heard one, I think it was Julia Roberts, the actress, she wrote once, if you're going to believe all the good things that you read about yourself, then believe the bad stuff you read about yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. What I
Interesting.
So
I like that.
You have to keep a balance. You have to understand that your life comes first. Your work, of course, is your passion, if you're passionate about what you do.
Most definitely.
It helped me to keep a balance.
That's awesome. So touring the world, 13 years old, you know, internationally. You know, y'all come back here. You guys create the monster song, you know, We Are Family, which is played everywhere, like everywhere. Literally, it was raining so bad here in Miami. One day it rains very bad here in the summer, right? And we're sitting on the couch, I'm watching Netflix, you know, with my soon-to-be wife. And we watched like 10 movies, right? Let me tell you how crazy this is. And I lied to you not. Out of the 10 movies we were watching, like 3 of the movies had the song in there. I'm like, what is the odds of that? Yeah, it's like, what is the odds of this song coming on? That's like so cool. During a 1-day span of us sitting here rained in. It was like so incredible. It's like I'm always so grateful to you know, to know like you're like my second mom. Like people don't know. Like I don't never.
You are right, because my son, you guys, and I know you interviewed him last week.
Yeah, I had him last week.
He literally kicked my butt in class today. Like, you know,
on purpose.
Oh my son is my trainer, guys.
That's awesome.
Tough Love Fitness. My son Philip.
Yeah, that's my brother right there.
Yeah, he is. You guys used to be on the basketball league.
Oh my God. Yes.
I can tell y'all stories about him.
Oh yeah. Don't tell them too much. We gotta save that for the movie.
Yeah, right.
You gotta save that for the movie. So I definitely remember, and I definitely wanted to get into that too, the fitness aspect. So I remember coming over to you guys' house, you know, Friday night. You know, like I think I was like 10, 11 years old, and we have a basketball game, you know, Saturday morning. And I remember coming over there, like the whole basement is just like flooded with equipment. You know, you got the weight set up there, you got the bike, you got the treadmill. You know, at what point in your life did you realize that you had to start taking fitness so serious?
Well, you know what's I actually taught fitness for 18 years.
Oh, wow.
I don't think you know that. And then I taught spin for
They didn't
5
know that.
years.
Wow. So 18 years of teaching fitness, 5 years of teaching spin class.
And I would do it when I was on the road. Like sometimes it's funny because, you know, I started young with my kids, you know, and I was always in my 20s. I had them in my 20s, like 22, 23.
Okay.
And I realized that when I would go out on the road, I wanted to have classes. And because we were always nomadic, like on the road like that, I started giving myself classes. And then before I knew it, my sisters would be like, and I would always do this after a show. I would always do like toning and calisthenics and, you know, abs. And then I remember before I knew it, I had like the crew and the band and my sisters, like all the time. And then I realized, you know, I like this a lot.
Wow.
It was kind of like a hobby to me, that I loved it. And then I got certified with very reputable certifications.
Wow.
And then whenever I was off the road, I would teach.
Wow.
And then, of course, spinning I love, you know, and so
we teaching them something new. They learning so much new about you today. That's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So, 18 years. Hey, guys, y'all can like the questions up, too. We're going to get to questions at the end if we have time.
You're going to blow them up so I can see them, right? They're so tiny.
Oh, yeah. I think I got it down packed with the questions. I think I got it. We're gonna figure. I think we got it.
I see my Club Quarantine people in the room.
They're in here heavy. I like it.
That's my family now.
That's awesome. Shout out to Club Quarantine. So training for 18 years, 5 years spin. Okay, so maybe one day after the quarantine, we get like a H.Y.P.E Sledge pop-up boot camp. Maybe. See, listen.
I'll go to the boot camp. That's for you and Phil.
That's for Phil. But listen, how crazy is this? So we have this incredible device that we are sharing together, this interview, you know, from 2 different parts of the country, right? You know how crazy it would be if you just got on your phone like H.Y.P.E Sledge, pop-up boot camp, 4 p.m., South Beach.
Well, wait.
Who's pulling up?
I'll tell you this. I'll come to your boot camp, you and Phil. We got to do that. But one
definitely.
thing I am doing that I love with my daughter, Kristen, you know, Chris, like we started this thing, and you guys, you got to tune in. We're actually going to go live after this. But and Saturday, we have something called Saturday Morning Live, what we'd love.
Okay.
We were very close to landing a reality show about the next generation on the We Network.
Okay.
And it was something I had produced.
That's major.
And then I decided to take it another angle, which more like a talk show. And so funny. This happened with all of us. Like we were in the middle of things that we were doing.
Right.
And then God told us, go home, sit down.
Y'all on punishment.
And learn how
go to your room.
From here.
Right. So which is amazing, because I'm pretty sure that you have been very creative with yourself, you know, since we've been locked down.
Yeah.
Which I'd like to talk about some things that you're doing, whatever you can talk about, you know, without giving too much. But one thing I do want to talk about, and I love that you created, I was watching you guys last Saturday on I believe it's called the Comfort series,
Oh
correct?
yeah, it's the Songs of Comfort.
Songs of Comfort. So that's I like that. So how did that happen? Like, what made you guys say that? Listen, let's take time, you know, on this day and that day, and you can. I would love for you to promote it, and we're going to talk about Songs of Comfort.
Well, you know what's funny? And now it's really grown. And Songs of Comfort. I'm about to do a Songs of Comfort concert for Rolling Stones magazine.
What?
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's
It's
incredible.
actually Germany Rolling Stones because they have
Okay.
subsidiaries. But what Songs of Comfort genuinely started and still is straight up from my heart. And the
Okay.
idea of it, and if you kind of go to my Facebook page, I think it's on there. I think I gave an announcement right when we had to go into lockdown. We all felt the same way. It's like, what? Like, what is this?
Are they serious?
And we all felt like, what can I give? What can I do?
Right.
And as an artist, I wanted to make sure it didn't come off like, oh, wow, now I can sing my songs for a captive audience. It was more like, I want to give comfort through my music. Wow. And, you know, and I especially thought about people, those of us who were quarantining alone. I said, you know, let's create this comfortable place. And I started getting DM messages from people asking me, will I do certain songs? So I started taking requests.
Wow. And
that's really how it started. And the first song Kristen suggested I should do, actually, and it was Say a Little Prayer, you know. Okay. And then this is where D Nice comes in. Simultaneously, you know, club quarantine was going on. I hadn't started going to the club yet.
Okay.
Another most requested song was Thinking of You.
Okay.
And I did like this really cool acoustic version of just singing Thinking of You, like straight from my heart. And D Nice reposted it. And,
wow.
And I
shout out to D Nice. He is bringing life to the whole situation.
He reposted it, and then I dedicated it to Club Quarantine and to him, of course. Okay. And then that's when I really started knowing more about Club Quarantine and going into the club at night. You know, it's funny because I'm getting verified, and it's crazy. I want you guys to know in the club. It's funny because my agent, my publicist was like, "You're not verified." I was like, "Well, you know, they keep rejecting me. My song's in the Library of Congress, and they keep rejecting me."
Wow, Instagram is rejecting it.
Yeah.
Instagram, y'all better get your mind right. Or I'm going to pull up on them. Y'all better get that blue check up there.
Caring. But you know, because I go in there and I'm like, "Hi." It's all good because you know. Right. I'm actually, so that you know, I'm getting verified now. My publicist said you can't go in there without being verified anymore. Right. But here's the truth. I love
business move.
I love the fact that what we're doing right now, and I want you to blow up some of the comments because
I got you.
I love the fact that we are reaching out and we're connecting and we are finding a way. It's like, you know, we get it. We can't really go outside. We should. We have to stay safe. But we're finding a way. Like, this is the new outside. It is. You know, I'm sure you know, now we might pick up our phone and we want to go, I want to look out and see what the world's doing. I want to connect. And thank God we have this to connect to.
I know this is so, and like, this has been like such a breath of fresh air to me, because it's like, I've been wanting to do this for like 5 years. I have so many strong, positive mentors in my life right now.
Yeah, well, and you're a positive mentor.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Blush, y'all.
Yeah, you trying to get me? You're not. You going. I know you're gonna get me before we go. You can't get me this early. We still have time. I can't be crying and being boo-hooing. I'm Coach K. So I love the fact that we have this huge opportunity to be able to do this. Like, we're just finishing off. Like, this is almost ending like the 4th week of doing this, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to have you on here. You have always supported me. So from being a basketball player, then when I wanted to be a rapper, and then, you know, when I got into fitness, like, you were always like right there, like in the front row, and I'm going to be forever grateful for that. Like, always, you know, just by my side and got my back. So like you said, like, this has really been like a huge blessing for, you know, it sucks that we're stuck in the house, we're on punishment, sit down, but so many creative juices have been flowing, you know, from all aspects of everybody's careers, which is incredible. So we have a young lady right here that can you sing some of that song, Thinking of You, please? It
Oh,
means so much.
yes, I can.
You can sing some of that?
Only if you sing it with me. And the only thing is, so just like type in some of the words I know.
So she got
In
to
fact,
sing it
if you're
with
in the
you?
room and you know the song, like, come on, sing it
All
with me.
right. So
Okay, well, let's sing the.
y'all hear the deal. So the deal is she's going to sing Thinking of You, and you guys have to start. Y'all got to light the comments up with the words. That's what we're going to do?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
All right.
All right,
I'm
you
ready.
ready? So,
I'm ready.
everybody, let me tell you about my love brought to you by an angel from above, fully equipped with a lifetime guarantee. Once you try it,
Woo!
I am sure that you'll see. Without love, that's y'all. There's no reason to live without you. Oh, what would I do the love I give? All
Woo!
love and nice to you I'll be giving. Here we go.
There we
And
go.
I promise this I'll do as long as I live. Just sing this part. I'm thinking of you
I'm
and
thinking
the
of
things you
you.
do to me that makes me love you. Now I'm living in ecstasy. I'm reading the comments. Thank you.
Nice. That was
Thank you.
incredible. There you go, guys.
Oh, yes,
Y'all got Thinking of
yes.
You live. Let's see what else we got. That was incredible. So what else have you been doing like while you've been on quarantine, while you've been locked down?
Um,
Anything else you can share with us?
yeah,
I'm
I
pretty sure
really
the
have.
creative juices is going crazy.
I was producing, and I still do produce live shows, and most of them are overseas.
Okay.
And but I have done some here. I'm working on a jazz project, believe it or not.
Oh wow, jazz project.
Well, you know what it is. I love music, and I always feel like we can't limit ourselves to whatever we love to do.
Most
And
definitely.
the legendary Stanley Clarke, jazz bassist, actually told me that I have one of the strongest jazz voices he ever heard. And I'm like, okay, let's do something. So
Wow.
I started working on some jazz things, and I started, when it comes to music, I love doing original songs. I love with songs of comfort. It's a little different. I love doing songs that people want to hear. And I really do I really take requests because I feel like it's a safe place. And that's why I do songs of comfort. And
Wow, that's awesome. So when can we find songs of comfort? Like what days?
I usually post on my Instagram,
Okay,
and
what
on
days?
Facebook. And it's usually every beginning of the week. I usually
Okay.
post Sunday night.
Sunday night. Can we
Yeah.
put it? Do you have time, or do you just say, "Listen, I'm going live and
No, I
let's
don't do
boogie"?
it live. I actually record it.
Oh, you pre-recorded, so we can find it on your page.
Yeah, it's on my page. If
Okay,
you
yeah,
go to
I
my
watched a couple of
Instagram,
them.
if you go to my IG now, you can see that I've done at least maybe 7,
Okay, like 7 of them. Okay,
Yeah.
so we got the songs of comfort. So what were you guys doing last Saturday? Last Saturday, you guys were live and you guys were
Oh,
singing.
yeah. Now that I love. That's what
Is this
my
something you
daughter,
do? Is this something you do usually every Saturday, or
it's
just
starting to
a
be
special
because
gift?
we started getting a lot of requests and a lot of DMs to do it again. And it's so cool. It's called Saturday Morning Live.
Okay.
And what's so crazy is because, I'm there with my coffee because I'm reaching out to the West Coast people because it's 9 o'clock. We go
Right.
on at 12 here. So
Right.
it's always around 12 o'clock. Well, 12 o'clock on Saturday. So Kristen usually has like a glass of wine for people who are having wine and here on the East Coast.
Right.
And I'm reaching out to the people on the West Coast and I have my coffee. And it's so cool because we always say, okay, if you have your coffee in your West Coast, show us a coffee emoji.
Right.
And what's really cool because we invite you to come in the room with us.
That's
And
awesome.
we interview people. We talk about some people talk about their businesses that they do.
Wow.
Last Saturday, we got, I think his name's Kendrick. Anyway, he came and he sang
He's on here. There we go.
You.
Kendrick is right there. I love that show. All right, Kendrick, you just got your shout out. So,
yeah.
so you guys are live on. What's up, Kendrick? So you guys are live on Saturday, and you're singing, and then people can request to come into the room.
And I want to say this about Kendrick because we're all getting to know each other, and I love your inspirational music, Kendrick. So what's so cool?
I gotta check him out.
Yeah, you gotta go to his site. It's like we're getting to know each other in a different way, and I
Okay.
feel like people like you who get to introduce people into the room and
Okay.
and interview all of us and we get to know who we're, you know, it's like another way of connecting. So,
Right. I like that. So now I have something to do on Saturdays.
yeah, come on in.
I was actually doing a live boot camp. I do my live boot camp. It was from like 9 to 10. And I was
Okay.
just finishing up and I seen yours live. I'm like, uh-oh, hold on, let me see what's going on. I'm being
You
newsy.
know, it's so cool too. I have some folks on the, you know, in England and Europe and whatever. And so when I'm having my, I had one friend and she reached out to me after we finished. She's like, you know, if you're going to have coffee for the people on the West Coast and wine for the people on the East Coast at around 12 noon,
Right.
like 5 o'clock here, we have our cocktails. And I'm like, okay.
Oh,
So,
shucks.
so it's kind of cool. We just get to talk. We bring you in the room. We sing together.
Right.
We talk about your businesses, especially now. And now what I'm really thinking about doing is incorporating almost like, you know, an idea of people supporting each other. Like, tell me about your business and we can actually help support it and everybody can donate to that business.
I like that.
If we have like 1,000 people in the room and everybody gave $1 to that person's business.
Quick $1,000 right there. And listen, people need it right now.
Yeah.
People could use it. And the crazy thing is you could do some amazing things with $1,000. You could do some amazing things with $100 right now.
Yeah,
you know, people are having hard time to pay their electric bill and put food in the refrigerator. So I like that. That's incredible. You never seem to not amaze me with all the incredible things that you do. So many people, about 20 people straight, put greatest dancer, one of their favorites.
Our greatest, what? Wow, he's like that. Let me tell you about that song. That's
Please do.
Because, again, I was 16 when I sang Dancer. I was not allowed to hear Greatest Dancer until it was time to record it.
Wow.
And it was line for line. It was like,
wow.
Nile and Bernard Edwards. I missed the late Bernard Edwards. And Nile, we all
Rest in power.
Yeah, and then, of course, Nile's a genius. And it's funny because they would go, okay, sing One Night in the Disco. And I go, One Night in the Disco. Okay, cut. Okay, sing On the Outskirts of Frisco. On the outskirts of Frisco. And it was like, and I didn't even know how the song was going to sound until it was finished.
Wow.
You know, We Are Family was the same way. I didn't.
Why did they break it up like that? Why did they break it up like bar for bar like that?
Honestly, I think they were such geniuses. A lot of times sometimes
you would never tell.
I remember them writing some of the words as we were recording it. Like they would just wheel it out like that. And what's so crazy is
that's crazy.
Too. Like I love Jam and Lewis. And,
okay.
And now Jimmy Jam and I are writing some stuff. And
you and Jimmy Jam?
Yeah.
My God, that's going to be so major right there.
I see. I love to write, and it's crazy because a lot of people. I tell you, one little pet peeve is when people go, "You still got it." And I'm like, "Okay, thank you."
I never lost it. What you mean?
Yeah,
I still got
it's a compliment, trust me. But you know, I'm around the same age as Sade, and I feel like if you probably wouldn't say to Sade she still has it. And I think it's because I haven't been here in the United States. I've been in other countries.
Right.
You know, I've never stopped.
Never stopped. Never since I was a little boy have you ever stopped working. You were always on the road, always working.
Yeah.
Like that's phenomenal because a lot of people don't have this type of longevity in their career. What keeps you going? Like what keeps you picking up the phone saying I'll be there?
I think you know that answer because it's the same thing with you with fitness and motivation and being a motivational speaker. The passion. Like you love it. It's what you do.
The passion.
You know? And I think we all can relate. Everybody in the room is if you have a passion and you love it, it doesn't become work to you. It becomes something you love. And like I drive my family crazy because I eat, sleep, drink, talking about music, productions, or things that we're learning to do within these four walls.
Right.
You know?
Most definitely. Most definitely. So we have a question. Do you remember performing at Astroworld in Houston, Texas?
Yes, I remember.
Mr. Monson. Would you like to share a memory from that performance?
Yeah, I remember wanting to go on the rides, but I had to work. That's the truth.
That's awesome.
You know, that's the crazy thing about it. But I remember my first time as a kid working Disney World. And I remember, you know, when we were young, we really couldn't afford to go to Disney World growing up.
Definitely
so my first time going, I was working Disney World. But I remember I couldn't wait to go. And we got there. I was like, wow, you know, look at the castle, blah, blah, blah. You know, you're a kid in Candyland. And then they said, follow us. And we went down underground to Disney World. all the characters were walking around without their heads.
What?
They're like Mickey Mouse was holding, and Mickey Mouse was always a girl. No one knew that. Like Mickey.
I know, that's crazy, right? Yo, that was mind blowing when I found that out. I just found out like a couple years ago. I'm like, what? Hold on, Mickey Mouse is a girl.
Yeah, because they need a little petite thing.
What in the Hollywood?
So things like that, honestly, as a kid, because I was really around 15. So as a, I was like, wow. So my first experience at Disney World was like Reality World.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you get a chance to see these things and go these places at the same time. I can't remember, like, I parallel my life a lot to the Jacksons. Like we grew up on the road.
Right.
I did, I toured with Michael and his brothers when we were much younger. We did the brother-sister tour.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What an experience. How was it working with Michael Jackson? Well, being around the Jacksons, period. Like, I'm getting chills just hearing about it.
They were the nicest people ever. They really were.
Wow.
And Michael was just like, he was amazing.
Power.
He was amazingly nice. He was very quiet, from what I remember, know. And I remember, but I remember he was very naive. And I was, a couple years younger than him. But I remember I was getting my first apartment. I was 17 and I was moving out.
Okay.
My first place. And I remember having a conversation with him because I was buying things. Anytime I saw like lampshades or dishes on the road, I was buying stuff from my place. And he laughed. He was like, "Why are you getting that stuff?" And I was like, "Because I'm getting my new place. I'm getting my own place."
What's up, sis?
And then he got very serious and he was like, "Why do you want your own place?"
Wow.
And I didn't know how to answer that. Like now I would say, because, if I leave something, it's mine. It's there. If I leave a teacup on the table, it's my space, But then I was a kid and I said, well, I don't know why. But what I learned about Michael is he would ask these questions. He would live vicariously through you. He would want you to describe what it feels like to live by yourself. What does it feel like to want that? What is that feeling? Because he didn't live it. He didn't know it, so he didn't really understand it.
It's his family and his parents were always, right there in the shadows. Wow, that's interesting. That's very interesting, and it makes a lot of sense. Your twin just logged in, firing up the chat. Chris, what's up, little sis? So, all right, we have another question. Kathy, would you do Dancing with the Stars? I bet you'd be great. Wow, that's a good question. Would you ever do Dancing with the Stars?
I've been talking about Dancing with the Stars, and and now some people are saying I should do the Masked Singer. But
that would even be better. I like Dancing with the Stars, but Masked.
You probably recognize my voice. I don't know.
You got to switch it up. I think you'll kill the Masked Singer.
Well, I have a funny story. I was supposed to do. They have a show in Europe called like Dancing on Ice.
Dancing on Ice.
And it's like ice skating. And first of all, I can't ice skate.
No, I don't want you to do that. No.
And I thought about it, and I was like, nah, I'll break some things. But anyway, I would do Dancing with the Stars. Yes. Okay,
she would do that. That's a good question. That's a question I would ask too. So that was perfect. So let's talk about the acoustic music. I see that.
Comfort?
Yeah, that's so. You're playing the guitar. What other instruments do you play? Well, like, what don't you do?
The funny thing is that on Songs of Comfort, I actually work with guitars. I don't play the guitar at all. Years ago, I wrote some songs on the guitar, but I actually couple up with really amazing musicians like Randy Boland, who plays with Jill Scott, and he's always with all of the major award shows, and Tim Gleason, who's a longtime musician friend of mine. We write original stuff. What I usually do if somebody requests a song for Songs of Comfort, I actually I call a musician and I say, I go over the key, and then we go over the music on the phone, and it usually takes a good week to really get that song, and then we have it tracked. I'm about to do Lovely Day with Randy Boland.
Whoa. Let me know when you drop that.
I will.
I got to put my notifications on. You're doing Lovely Day over like.
Oh yeah.
I need that. I need that. I need to hear that like as soon as it drops. That's gonna be incredible.
That'll probably be very soon.
Okay, so how often do you drop the videos? You said once a week. In the beginning of the week, you usually drop the Songs of Comfort.
Yeah, I do once a week, and I have to give Kristen some props. She's the one here. My daughter.
Yes, please do. You guys are a dynamic duo.
She produces all this stuff. She's really good.
That's
And
awesome. You guys are the dynamic duo. So talk about
thank you.
how is it working with your daughter, with your twin right there?
Is she in here?
Yeah, she's in here. She's live. She's in the chat.
No, honestly, you know, she's gonna get like blushing and stuff. But I love working with her. I drive her crazy. She sometimes says I'm the kid. She's a mom. Not true. But the truth is, you know, I always say Phil's my heart and Kristen's my best friend. Right. And the truth is, we really respect each other. I'm learning so much from her. Like, you know, wow. She also scripts a lot of the ideas. Like I might say something, she'll be like, "Mom, that's corny." You
that sounds just like it. let's throw this away and come right here. That's awesome. Yeah. Like you guys' chemistry, like when I see you guys on camera, like the chemistry is always just, it's so perfect. It doesn't get no better than that. Like you guys are definitely like the dynamic duo. And you guys do be bickering, going back and forth. But that's what kids and parents are for. Yeah, that's genuine love right there. There's nothing like scripted as far as that aspect of your relationship. So that's awesome.
First of all, thank you. And a lot of times we just pop up. Like we definitely do Saturday morning live. That's consistent. But we're
and what time is that?
After this, we're going on live like within the next hour.
Okay.
Because we like feeling out the ideas as we do this, and we definitely, you know, I've been talking to my agency because we're all doing this now, aren't we? You know, we're all thinking of innovative ideas, right? Of how to keep our passion going with what we love. And in my case, you know, it's in the entertainment industry. So correct. Yeah.
So that's the next thing I want to talk to you about. So I heard you speak earlier about, you know, you're not just your concern, but how important it is for people to get out into a mental space, a healthy mental space. You mentioned that there's a lot of people that don't have access to, like we have a big space. We have a big condo here, and I'm like bouncing my heads off the walls, going crazy in here. So I can't imagine somebody that's just confined to four just walls, like on a daily basis, like people in big cities, like California and New York City. Do you have any type of advice for anybody that may be, you know, going through a mental health crisis with this whole pandemic going on?
Well, of course, you know, I'm no expert at that, but we all have our own feelings of what we do personally. Correct. I know that, you know, I watch the news in the morning because we have to. We have to know what's going on.
We have to be informed. Correct.
And then after I get enough and understand, I turn on like maybe some praise music all day or jazz music. You know, I do things like, you know, sometimes I use tea light candles more than regular candles because candles can be dangerous. I'm just being honest. Okay. And believe me, I'm like the candle lady. I love candles.
Right. But you like saging?
I always set a mood in the house.
You like saging? How do you feel about saging?
I do. Kristen does saging a lot.
Okay.
I actually do things like, you know, I just feel I have this thing about the five senses. Tap on all of them. Music, put some nice jazz on.
Music, okay.
Smell, put some nice food on the table, you know.
Okay, so we got three. Okay.
Even if it's some like peaches with cinnamon, like things that make the top of your senses. Okay. And music, and then of course, I also feel like it's important to make sure we stay on top of our health game. We have to.
Wow, definitely.
Because we all know we're learning about this thing. It's like an alien. And correct. Every day we're learning more about it. You know, it has a mind of its own. But one thing we do know is that if you have, the stronger you keep your immune system, the better. And so, you know, we all know, like I actually take wheatgrass shots.
Wow.
You get your hands on, you know,
wheatgrass is delicious.
Whole Foods has wheatgrass.
Okay.
They say that wheatgrass is equivalent to every ounce of vitamins and greens that you should have. Like 1 ounce is worth 8 servings of greens. Wow. And so
that's game right there.
It tastes horrible. But some people like it. But you take a shot of wheatgrass, and if you get a minute, Google the benefits of wheatgrass. They know for a fact that wheatgrass stops the growth of cancer.
Wow.
So with that said, it's really good for your immune system. You know, and you just try to eat whole foods. You know, you try to eat more fruits and veggies.
Definitely.
Stay away from processed foods if you can.
Definitely. So how do you feel?
I'll be honest. We gotta have some comfort food. I love wine.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Okay. How often do you drink wine? Maybe one glass. Hey, listen, one glass a night. keep
Well,
you
I
on the
got
light,
one right
right?
here. I'm kidding.
So, how often have you ever tried the sea moss? Like, how do you feel about this whole sea moss craze that's going on right now?
I haven't heard about it. Is it like wheatgrass? Is it like, is that the
Supposed
algae
yeah,
thing?
yeah, it's like the algae thing that people are like taking the shots with their face all curled up and stuff.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's like
tried it yet.
wheatgrass. It's probably, I hear it's like the same thing.
Okay.
You know, but if you think about it, like what's the first thing you see a dog or animal do when they get sick? They eat grass.
Eat the grass. Yes, they do.
So the truth
Wow.
is like grass is literally like liquid sunshine. It's the
Ooh.
purest form of chlorophyll. So you're
Right.
drinking sunshine.
Right.
And when you think about it, I always know that it was my spiritual side. I feel like, God has it all planned of what we're supposed to have in our bodies.
Correct.
And at the end of the day, it's usually the simplest things like fruits and vegetables. And, it's interesting, but I try to lean towards that more. I drink water. Water is, as much as
Definitely.
I can.
Yeah, that's what we doing. I'm doing like a gallon of water
Uh,
challenge
are
on
you?
Facebook. Like I posted on Facebook, like who want to join a gallon of water challenge? It's like the gift and the curse. And I have like 150 people saying I want to do it. Now like I got like 150 people tagging me like
Are
3 times
you?
a
I
day.
want to do that challenge
You
with
want to
you.
join it? Okay, I want to inbox you how the challenge works.
Who
It's
wants to do
awesome.
the challenge? Just get it
Who
on
wants
that.
to Who wants to do the gallon of water challenge? You want to do the
Okay,
gallon of
water's one
water
of the
challenge?
best things for
It
you.
is. And we just mark it off. So I got 6 a.m., 8 a.m.,
Yeah.
10, 12, 3, 5, and then 8. So
Okay, I'm
I've
doing
been
it.
loving it. Pissing like a racehorse, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, because it's,
I
I
got you.
have to make myself drink. I love water, and it's funny, but once you start drinking it, your body wants it.
Oh my God, your skin just start clearing up and
Yeah.
it just, you feel so, all the bloatness just go out of your body. So you know what I'm gonna do? Instead of just, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna put it on my page. After we get off, I'm gonna
Okay.
post it on my page. Who wants to join and we make that magic happen.
And
We have a
whoever in the
question.
room wants to join, we'll do it.
Yeah,
It's
whoever wants to
crazy.
join, let's do it together.
You can look at it this way. You can say, okay, like Kristen, it was Kristen's idea if she's still in the room, but we have this thing is like as soon as you walk in the door, like a dry erase board.
Right.
And instead of saying we're in like 52 days of quarantine,
Okay.
we write we're in 52 days of change.
Wow. Hold on, I gotta write this down.
Way.
All right, not 52 days of quarantine. We getting all the jewels, y'all.
Yeah.
Not
So if
52
you think of
days
it
of
that way,
quarantine.
it's like
52 days of change.
like what are you going to do in this time that you're here? Like God gave us, and it's interesting because it's a double entendre because the fact that it's so dangerous right now. Like people are losing their lives. We have to stay healthy, and you pray about their families and them every day. You stay healthy, and then the other part of that is what are you going to do to make change for yourself?
Right.
Because we all say we never have enough time, but now we have time.
We have nothing but time now.
We have time,
Right.
So what are you going to do in that time? And so
I like that.
we put down, we've been.
I like that.
And I look at that sometimes and I go, now, I said I was going to lose X amount of weight, or I said I was going to do that closet.
Right. Right.
And I'm 52 days in. And
right.
It makes you psychologically say, okay, let me do this.
Wow. Impressive. Like, I got my pen and paper out. I'm taking notes. That's awesome. So we have a question right here. Okay. All right. If you sang with one person, who would it be and why?
That's a good question because I'm about to do a duet, and I always ask people, who would you like to hear my voice with?
Wow.
I always ask for ideas. I've talked about doing something.
There y'all go. Light it up.
Hmm?
I told them to light the comments up.
Give me suggestions.
Yeah, we want suggestions. Who do you want to hear Kathy Sledge with? That's awesome. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that I wanted to reiterate that to people.
And I will take your suggestions and we'll look into it. But I've been talking to different people like Will Downing. I love his voice.
Okay.
Someone said, I think a distinctive voice. I love distinctive voices. And it's funny.
Baby.
Maybe Babyface.
Oh, somebody just posted. Your guy, Kendrick said Babyface. Okay, Kendrick, you're on point. Kendrick on point.
Who said that?
Kendrick, your guy Kendrick, from Club Quarantine. Okay. Baby, somebody else said Babyface. Johnny Gill would be a good one. My boy Country said he want to hear you with the baby. With the rapper The Baby.
Okay.
The Baby's hot right now. Jill Scott, Mary J. Blige, Babyface again. All right.
Billy in the house with Jill. It's funny because I watched the challenge. I watched some of the challenge, and they're so Jill and Erica, they're just like so dynamic artists, you know.
Right.
And I love the
Beyonce.
fact that that was that sisterhood thing about
Definitely.
love.
Yeah, you
You
felt the
know,
love. It was so much energy.
yeah.
Like the whole energy just was on point. Like
And
we
that's
sat
what
up
it
there
should
for
be like.
hours.
You know,
Right.
it's funny because that's what it should be like. Like I grew up on stage all my life, and the school of entertainment that I grew up in is you support each other.
Right. Definitely.
You know, I could tell you stories. Like when I was a kid, like we would always open in
Right.
Vegas for I
Correct.
would be open for people like Red Fox or Bill Cosby or you know, and I got
Right.
to see these greats, these legends,
Wow.
and you know, and get advice from them. And I was just a kid, but what I
Right.
did learn back then is exactly what Jill and Erica did that day. It's like it's about this. It's about you know. Sometimes you see artists that compete, and it's
Right.
not. It's what they showed that day was just sisterhood, and we're like this, and we are giving, and we're giving.
Right.
My grandmother used to always say, "There's room for everybody," you know,
I
and
like that.
that's what we felt when they did it.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of time competition just destroys the whole
Yeah,
passion and the point of creating the music. A lot of times, a lot of people are saying Jilly from Philly, all right,
I
with the
love Jill.
reggae singer Buju Banton. Will you ever do anything with Buju Banton? Have you ever done any
Maybe
reggae music?
I got it. Yeah, you know, it's funny, but because I have a more international, I guess, appeal, because my music is more international.
Right.
Um, I love working with all different international artists. So yeah,
Right.
definitely.
And somebody just asked that question too. Somebody just asked. We got like 5 minutes left before they bang us off here.
Okay.
Instagram be hating. All right, so somebody just asked like, where do you prefer uh,
Performing?
performing in overseas or in the United States?
Well, in the United States, I did a lot of jazz stuff,
There we go.
Billie Holiday production that I
Wow.
produced.
There we go.
But now
What's the difference? I'm sorry. The question is, what's the
what's
difference between
different?
performing internationally and in state? Why
Well,
you
when
perform
I
with
do
Billie Holiday?
international,
Wow.
and I'll hurry because I know when I'm international, what people don't know is we have at least 12 hits over there. So
Wow.
the show, the audience knows like songs like Thinking of You. Like if I sang that a year ago here, you may not have known it, but
Right.
there, and I posted on Instagram a lot, the reaction of the crowd. But I can't wait when, you know, when we all get to go outside and play again. I'm
Yes. Me
definitely do a
neither.
Thinking of You tour, and I'll
I
definitely do
can't
it.
wait. I'm
Yeah.
catching it. So somebody else said, we're gonna take one more question. Somebody else said they would love to hear a duet with you and Stevie Wonder. Wow, that would be incredible.
Oh, happy birthday, Stevie, right? Was it? Yes, today. It's the
Today's
13th.
his birthday? Oh
Yeah,
wow, yeah,
happy
today
birthday,
what's
Stevie.
today 13th? Oh wow, happy birthday to Stevie Wonder.
We talked about doing things years ago. We really did. And
Wow.
he's
Can we
Stevie
make
Wonder.
that happen? Can we make that happen one time?
You know
Who
what?
do
I'm
we
going
need
to
to
look
get in
into
contact
that.
to make that happen?
That
We
would be
need
like a dream come true to
that would
any
be
artist.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be incredible. All right, so we had another question. Do you know who Trick Daddy is?
Mm,
He's a rapper. Somebody
okay. Do
country
I?
wants to hear you
I've
with
heard of
Trick
him.
Daddy. You heard of him?
Okay.
Would you do any music with any of these little young rappers out here? Little Fridge, young
You know what I
Pepsi
would do
can or
is
whatever.
I feel like if they have with these rappers, to me artists have an influence, and if
They
it's
do.
something, I feel it comes along with the territory. If you're in the
Definitely.
public eye and you can make a change, then I
Right.
certainly would do some things.
There we
Yeah,
go. So all you young artists out there, you might have a shot.
yeah, I'll
You
do a
might
little,
have a shot.
like a
That
sample, a little bit of thinking of you. That's what we'll do.
There we go. Hey, listen, we gotta throw that all in the mix
Yeah.
as much as you can. Uh, before we go, would you like to share anything else with the people, like any type of encouragement? Oh, country. Would you ever do country music with Tim McGraw? Darn, that's something else. That
Who has that?
Nelly Fox One wants to know: would you do something with Tim McGraw? Well, I guess they can hear you with Tim McGraw.
If we love, I feel like there's good country, there's bad country, there's good dance music, there's bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would.
Yeah, there we go, Tim McGraw. We was just actually having this conversation about country music, like, because I remember, being in high school and our coach when we was like doing weight training, he used to always play like country music and rock and roll, and I'm like, you're teaching us about weight training. I got 225 pounds on my back trying to squat, and I hear this guy talking about first she took my dog, and then she broke my heart, then she broke my car. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I just want to slip my wrist. And like, all right, country music Yeah,
Country music, they're storytellers. You know, they
yeah,
tell
just
stories.
storytelling.
That's what it
I'm
is.
like, man, put some Jay-Z on. So yeah, okay. So we may hear some country music, may not.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know.
I
House
like it.
music. I just heard actually one of the mixes I just heard of Thinking
Yeah.
of You was a house mix.
I have a new release overseas. It's a house song called, you got to check it out. It's called Falling Deep in Love.
Okay.
And it's funny, but you know, they're crazy names over there, but they're Horse Meat Disco. That's the name of,
Horse Me Disco.
that's what they're called. But
That's all.
they're really big overseas. And actually, if you just Google Kathy Sledge and Falling Deep in Love, that's a
Okay.
song that's really doing very strong in England right now. And in the middle of that, we had to
I'm
come
gonna
home
check it
because of
out.
the coronavirus. But anyway.
So yeah, I remember you overseas and then this struck. Do you have any new visuals out right now? Like any new videos we can find on YouTube or
Yeah, you know, we're
uh
about to do one with the new record. The new record's called Good Times Are Coming Back Around.
Good Times Are
And
Coming Back Around. Y'all hear that?
yeah, and
Okay.
I literally just got off the phone with our agent and my agent, and she was saying, we gotta do a video. We had to do a visual.
Right. And that's out right now?
John Legend just did a video. He just released one. And it's crazy because now we're doing videos within these four walls. But
Wow.
just for now, and I
Got to be creative. Whatever we have to do to get the energy and the message to the
yeah.
people.
But I do
So
want to say this: if I'm leaving a message, I want to say, keep the faith, keep the hope,
there
because
we go.
and this too shall pass. I believe that in my heart of hearts. 1918 they went through the Spanish flu, and
Correct.
everything went back to normal eventually. But
Yes, it did.
if you look into the history of the Spanish flu, is exactly what we're going through now.
Most
And
definitely.
so it does, and it did come back to normal. But I do think this. I think we just have to do the right thing and have some patience. And like I said, while we're within these four walls, now we have time to change whatever we want to do.
Wow.
It's almost like God said, on your mark, you set, go. So
Right.
things that you've been wanting to do, now's the
Right.
time to try it, because you have the same advantage as everyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
So if this guy, this goofball in office right here, if he decide to open up tomorrow, what is the first thing you're going to do? If he say 12 p.m. tomorrow, we allow back outside, what's the first thing you're going to do?
I'm going to stay home.
You're going to stay home? Me too.
See, I'm glad you said that, because, and I won't get political, but, it's not, yeah, we are all suffering. Our businesses are suffering. It's crazy.
Yeah,
And then, I was just listening to TD Jakes this morning, and he was saying,
right.
if you get a chance, check him out on YouTube. He's got this big Nike sweater on. You can't miss it. So it's really from his heart. And, from his perspective, he's saying, you got to let that curve flatten, because, he sees a whole different side of what's